Hey there, amazing listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Lily's English Journey podcast. I'm absolutely thrilled you decided to join me today. Before we dive into today's content, I just want to give a quick shout out to all of you incredible people who have been supporting this podcast. Seriously, your love means everything to me. So if you're enjoying this podcast and finding value in these episodes, I would genuinely love it if you could hit that share button and subscribe to stay connected with me. Tell your friends, your family, anyone who's working on their English goals, because that's what this community is all about. And hey, while you're at it, make sure you check out our podcast playlist right here in the channel, because we've got so many amazing episodes loaded up there, just waiting for you. From beginner tips to advanced conversation techniques, you'll find everything you need. Trust me, the more you explore our library, the more your English is going to improve. So don't forget to check that podcast playlist for all our previous episodes and upcoming content. Now, let's jump into today's episode because I've got something really special prepared for you today. So I want to ask you something real quick. How many of you have ever felt frustrated because you desperately want to speak English fluently, but you just can't figure out where to fit it into your busy schedule? You feel like you need some magical solution, right? Maybe you think you need to attend expensive language classes, or hire a private tutor, or spend hours in front of your laptop doing complicated grammar exercises. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's actually a completely different approach that's so much more natural and honestly, way more effective. Today, we're going to explore something that I truly believe will transform your entire English learning experience. We're going to talk about how you can seamlessly weave English into your everyday routine and make it feel like such a natural part of your life that you won't even realize you're studying anymore. The beautiful thing about this approach is that you're not going to need a conversation partner or expensive classes or any fancy equipment at all. You already have everything you need. You have your daily routine. You have your daily activities. You have the moments that make up your ordinary day. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to transform those ordinary moments into powerful English learning opportunities. By the time we finish this episode, you're going to have so many practical ideas and useful speaking exercises that you can literally start implementing today. So stick with me as we embark on this incredible journey toward fluent English using the most natural and sustainable approach possible. Let me paint you a picture right now. It's early morning. Your alarm just went off. Most people would immediately reach over and check their phone while their brain is still half asleep, right? Or maybe they're thinking about their to-do list for the day in their native language, already feeling stressed. But what if you changed that moment? What if the very first thing you did when you opened your eyes was to start thinking in English? Now, I'm not saying you have to jump out of bed and start speaking loudly. That would be overwhelming and, frankly, a little weird. What I'm suggesting is that you start small and simple. Look around your bedroom for a moment. Your eyes are already open. There's your bed, there's your window, there's your nightstand. Just start naming these things in your mind. Think to yourself, this is my comfortable bed. I'm going to get out of this bed now. I can see my bedroom window. I see my lamp on the nightstand. These simple, straightforward sentences might seem incredibly basic, but here's the thing that most people don't understand. They're actually training your brain to switch into English mode right from the very beginning of your day. You're starting to create new neural pathways that make English thinking more natural and more automatic. As you swing your legs out of bed and head toward the bathroom, continue this internal conversation. Keep narrating what's happening around you in simple English phrases. Don't worry about using complex grammar or sophisticated vocabulary. Simple is actually better at this stage. You're building a foundation. Once you get to the bathroom and you look into the mirror, this is a really powerful moment. Take just a few seconds and observe yourself. How are you actually feeling? What's your energy level? What are your thoughts about the day ahead? Try expressing some of these feelings in English. You might think something like, I feel a bit tired right now, but I'm actually excited about the day ahead. I want to make today a productive day. I'm going to try my very best to speak more English today. Even if you're making mistakes with grammar or verb tenses, that's completely fine. Honestly, it's more than fine. It's actually perfect because that's exactly how you learn. The goal here isn't to be perfect. The goal is to build a consistent habit of thinking and speaking in English. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. It's like any new habit. The first day feels awkward and strange, but after a week, it starts feeling more normal. After a month, it starts feeling like just a natural part of your routine. Now, let's transition into your morning breakfast routine. This is actually one of my favorite times to practice because you have a captive audience of one, yourself. And there's something really powerful about narrating your own actions. When you're in the kitchen making breakfast, especially if you're making tea or coffee or cooking something, start speaking about what you're doing. Say things like, I'm going to boil water right now. I'm putting the kettle on the stove. I'm opening the cabinet to get my favorite tea. I need to add hot water to the cup. I'm putting 1 spoon of sugar in my tea. Now I'm stirring it carefully. See how you're creating real-world context for your English? You're not just memorizing vocabulary from a textbook. You're connecting English words with actual actions, with real experiences that your brain is processing right now. If you come across a word that you don't know while doing this, pause for a moment and look it up. It's actually going to stick much better in your memory if you look it up in the context of what you're doing right now. Then go back and say that sentence again using the correct word. This creates such a powerful connection between the new vocabulary and the real experience. Your brain essentially bookmarks that word and that moment together, and you're way more likely to remember and use it naturally in the future. I want to walk you through a practical exercise right now that I'd like you to try. Imagine you're going through your entire morning routine, and I'm going to guide you through it step by step. Follow along with me, either by actually speaking the words out loud, or if you're somewhere that you can't do that, just mentally visualize yourself saying these things. Ready? Let's go. I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I stretch my body and take a deep breath. I get out of my bed slowly. I open my curtains and let the sunlight in. I look outside at the sky. It's a beautiful morning. I walk to the bathroom. I splash cold water on my face. I feel more awake now. I brush my teeth carefully. I look at myself in the mirror. I smile. I feel ready to start my day. I walk into the kitchen. I'm going to make breakfast. I open the refrigerator. I take out some eggs. I get a pan from the cabinet. I place the pan on the stove. I turn the heat on. I crack the eggs into the pan. I hear them sizzling. I wait for them to cook. I watch the eggs carefully. They're almost done. I put the cooked eggs on a plate. I get some bread from the bread box. I make some toast. The toast is golden brown. I smell the delicious breakfast. I sit down at the table. I start eating slowly. I taste the food. It's delicious. I feel satisfied. Now, here's what I want you to do with this exercise. Don't just do it once and move on. Do this every single day, but change it up based on your actual life. If you wake up at 6 instead of 7, say 6. If you eat something different for breakfast, describe what you actually eat. The more personal you make it, the more powerful the exercise becomes. Your brain is much more engaged when you're talking about your own real life rather than imagining some fictional scenario. Throughout your day, whenever you have quiet moments, use that time to describe your surroundings in English. Are you walking to the bus stop? Perfect. Use those few minutes to observe and describe what you see. You could think or quietly say to yourself, "There's a large tree on the corner of this street. The weather is really nice today. The sun is shining brightly. I see a woman walking with her daughter. The little girl is holding her mother's hand. I see a car driving down the road. The traffic is pretty light this morning. I'm approaching the bus stop now. I can see some people waiting. Here comes the bus down the street." These simple observations are absolutely building your vocabulary in such a natural way. You're learning new vocabulary through direct observation and association. Your sentence formation is improving because you're constantly practicing different sentence structures. You're learning how to describe things, how to give details, how to talk about your surroundings. All of this is happening naturally in real time as you're actually living your life. Let me give you another guided exercise that you can practice, maybe during a walk or a commute. I'm going to describe a shopping scenario, and I want you to either repeat it after me or visualize yourself saying these things. Here we go. I'm walking down the busy street right now. There are a lot of shops on both sides. I see a grocery store on the left. I need to buy some things. I'm entering the store. The door opens automatically. I take a shopping cart. I start looking for vegetables. I see tomatoes, cucumbers, and carrots. The vegetables look very fresh. I pick up 3 tomatoes. I put them in my cart. I'm moving to the next aisle now. I see fresh fruits. There are apples, bananas, and oranges. I really like apples. I pick up 5 red apples. I smell the fruit. It smells sweet. I look for milk next. There's the dairy section. I take a 1-liter milk carton. I continue walking through the store. I'm looking for bread. I find the bread section. There's white bread and brown bread. I prefer brown bread. I take a loaf of brown bread. I notice it's on sale today. I'm at the checkout now. The cashier smiles at me. I put my items on the counter. The cashier scans each item. I watch as the total price appears. I take out my wallet. I pay with my card. The transaction is successful. I put my items in a bag. The cashier says thank you. I say thank you too. I leave the store with my shopping bag. I'm walking home now. The shopping bag is a little heavy. My arms feel the weight. I'm walking slowly and enjoying the weather. I can hear birds singing in the trees. I'm halfway home. I can see my street now. I see my house. I'm so glad to be home. I put the bag on the kitchen counter. I'm putting the groceries away. I put the fruits in a bowl. I put the vegetables in the refrigerator. The milk goes into the fridge. The bread goes into the bread box. Everything is organized now. I feel satisfied with my shopping. This type of narration might feel strange or even silly at first. Trust me on this. I've talked to hundreds of people who do this practice, and they all tell me the same thing. After about a week, it stops feeling weird. After 2 weeks, it becomes natural. After a month, you literally can't believe how much your English has improved just from this one simple habit. Your brain is working overtime to process English while you're doing your everyday activities, and that's incredibly powerful. Let's talk about another essential time during your day when you can practice. Cooking. Whether you're making a simple meal or something more elaborate, this is gold for English learning. You've got ingredients, you've got actions, you've got sensory experiences. When you're preparing your meal, narrate everything. I'm heating olive oil in the pan. I'm adding minced garlic to the oil. The garlic smells absolutely wonderful. I can hear it sizzling. I'm chopping an onion now. The onion is a light golden color. I'm adding the chopped onion to the pan. I'm stirring everything together. I need to add some salt and pepper. I'm sprinkling salt over the ingredients. I'm turning the heat down slightly. I'm waiting for the ingredients to soften. I'm getting a pot and filling it with water. I'm putting the pot on the stove. The water is starting to boil. I can see bubbles forming at the bottom. I'm adding pasta to the boiling water. I'm stirring the pasta so it doesn't stick. I'm waiting for about 10 minutes. I'm tasting a piece of pasta. It's almost ready. I'm getting a colander to drain the pasta. The pasta is cooked perfectly. I'm pouring the pasta into the colander. The steam is rising from the hot pasta. I'm mixing the pasta with the sauce. The food looks really delicious. I'm tasting a piece of pasta. It's almost ready. I'm getting a colander to drain the pasta. The pasta is cooked perfectly. I'm pouring the pasta into the colander. The steam is rising from the hot pasta. I'm mixing the pasta with the sauce. The food looks really delicious. This is where real vocabulary learning happens. You're not just hearing a word in isolation. You're hearing it, thinking about it, using it, and simultaneously performing the action that the word describes. Your brain creates this incredible interconnection between the word, the action, and the sensory experience. That's why this kind of practice is so powerful. Now, let's talk about what I call self-dialogue throughout the day. This might sound a little bit strange, but I promise you it works. Throughout your day, have conversations with yourself entirely in English. When you're at your desk working, you could think or quietly say things like, "I'm opening my email now. I have 7 new messages. Let me see which ones are important. I need to reply to the one from my boss. I'm reading it carefully. The project deadline has been moved to next Friday. That's good news. I have more time now. I'm clicking reply. I'm typing a response." Even when you're doing mundane tasks like cleaning, you can keep this internal dialogue going. I'm picking up my bedroom right now. There are clothes on the floor. I'm putting them in the closet. I'm making my bed. I'm fluffing the pillows. Even when you're doing mundane tasks like cleaning, you can keep this internal dialogue going. I'm picking up my bedroom right now. There are clothes on the floor. I'm putting them in the closet. I'm making my bed. I'm fluffing the pillows. I hear the sound of the vacuum. There's no dust visible anymore. The floor is spotless. My bedroom looks wonderful now. I feel so much better when my room is clean. The key here is consistency. You don't need to do this for hours. Even 15 or 20 minutes a day of this kind of practice will produce noticeable results within a few weeks. What makes it work is the regularity. You need to show up every single day and practice, even if it's just for a short time. Let me talk about another powerful habit, keeping a daily English journal. This doesn't need to be fancy or complicated. You're not writing for a publisher. You're writing for yourself, and the goal is to improve your writing skills while also deepening your thinking in English. Every evening, take just 5 minutes and write about your day. You can use a notebook, you can type on your computer, you can use your phone notes app. The medium doesn't matter. What matters is that you're putting your thoughts into English. Keep it simple, especially when you're starting out. Don't try to write complex paragraphs with complicated grammar. Write simple, clear sentences about what happened during your day. Start with the basics. What did you do? How did you feel? What did you experience? For example, you might write something like, "Today was a really busy day for me. I woke up early and went to work. I had 3 meetings. The first meeting was with my team. We talked about the new project." It sounds exciting. I felt nervous because I had to speak in English, but I did my best. During lunch, I ate with my friend Sarah. We talked about our plans for the weekend. After work, I went to the gym. I ran on the treadmill for 30 minutes. I felt tired but happy. In the evening, I watched an English movie. I understood most of it. Before bed, I wrote this journal entry. I'm happy with my progress. When you write like this every single day, something incredible starts happening in your brain. You start seeing patterns in how you organize your thoughts. You start noticing which words and sentence structures you use repeatedly. You start becoming more comfortable with expressing yourself in English. You're training your brain to think in English and then convert those thoughts into written form. This is an essential skill for fluency. Let me give you a practice exercise for evening journal writing. Imagine it's the end of your day right now and you're writing about it. Listen to what I'm saying and imagine yourself writing these sentences in your journal. Today, I woke up at 7 in the morning. I felt good. I had a good night's sleep. I made coffee and toast for breakfast. I sat on the sofa and watched the sunrise. It was beautiful. I went to the office at 9. I was on time. My boss was happy. I had many emails to answer. I worked on my computer for hours. My eyes felt tired, but I finished my work. I ate lunch at the company cafeteria. The food was okay. I talked with my colleague about movies. We laughed a lot. In the afternoon, I attended a meeting. The meeting was about sales. Everyone shared ideas. I listened carefully. I didn't speak much, but I understood most of what was said. After work, I went to the park. I walked for 30 minutes. The weather was great. The sky was blue. I saw children playing. I saw people running. Everything looked peaceful. I came home and made dinner. I cooked pasta with vegetables. It was delicious. I ate slowly and enjoyed my food. In the evening, I called my mother. We talked for 1 hour. She told me about her day. I told her about mine. I felt happy to hear her voice. Before bed, I wrote this journal entry. I feel satisfied with my day. Tomorrow, I will practice more. This kind of reflective writing does multiple things at once. It improves your vocabulary because you're trying to find the right words to express your thoughts. It improves your grammar because you're constructing sentences. It builds confidence because you're expressing yourself. And it creates a wonderful record that you can look back on and see your progress over time. It's incredibly motivating to look back at journal entries from 3 months ago and realize how much your English has improved. Now, let me talk about using English for entertainment. This is where learning becomes fun and doesn't feel like a chore anymore. Watch short videos in English, listen to podcasts, read simple articles online. But here's the important part. Don't just passively consume this content. Actively engage with it. After you watch or read something, talk about it out loud in your own words. Let me give you an example. Let's say you watched a video about healthy eating habits. After watching, you could say to yourself something like this. The video talked about eating healthy food. It said we should eat more fruits and vegetables. It mentioned that we should drink lots of water every day. It also said we should avoid eating too much sugar and processed food. The video gave examples of healthy meals. I think I can try some of those ideas. Tomorrow, I will eat more vegetables. I will drink more water. The video was very helpful. I learned some good information. This approach accomplishes so much. You're improving your listening comprehension by watching videos. You're improving your speaking by talking about what you watched. You're making connections between English content and your own life. You're applying what you learn to your real situation. This is active learning, and it's incredibly effective. Let me introduce you to a technique called roleplay, and this is so much fun. You're essentially creating imaginary situations and acting them out entirely in English. The situations should be realistic. things you might actually encounter in real life. For instance, imagine you're ordering food at a restaurant. What would you say? Hello, welcome. I'd like a table for one, please. Do you have a table by the window? Thank you. I'd like to see the menu. Okay, I've looked at the menu. I'm ready to order. I'd like to have the grilled chicken with rice. I'd also like to have vegetables on the side. For the drink, I'll have water with lemon, please. How much will that cost? Thank you. That's all for now. Or imagine you're checking into a hotel. Good evening. I have a reservation. My name is John Smith. Yes, I'm checking in. I have a booking for 3 nights. I'd prefer a room with a view if possible. Could you give me a room away from the elevator? I'd like a non-smoking room. What time is breakfast served? What time should I check out? Do you have any restaurants in the hotel? Thank you for your help. What's beautiful about role play is that you're rehearsing real-life situations. You're preparing yourself for actual conversations. So when you're actually in a restaurant or a hotel, your brain has already practiced this scenario multiple times. You know what words you need. You know how to structure your sentences. You feel more confident because it's not completely new to you anymore. Let me guide you through a role-play practice exercise right now. Imagine you're shopping at a grocery store and you need to ask for help. I'm going to narrate the scenario, and I want you to imagine yourself speaking these lines. You walk into the store. You look around. You need to find eggs, but you're not sure where they are. You see a store employee. You approach them. You say, "Excuse me, could you help me? I'm looking for eggs. Where would I find them?" The employee points. They say eggs are in the dairy section at the back of the store. You say, "Thank you so much for your help. The dairy section is at the back?" "Yes, got it. I'll go look there." You walk to the dairy section. You find the eggs. You pick up a carton. You check the date. It looks good. You go to the register. You stand in line. It's your turn. You put your eggs on the counter. The cashier scans the item. She tells you the price. You take out your wallet. You pay with cash. You get change back. You say, "Thank you. Have a nice day." The cashier smiles. You leave the store feeling good because you successfully completed the entire transaction in English. This kind of practice is invaluable. You're not just learning words and grammar. You're learning how to function in English in real situations. Another wonderful technique is labeling. Get some sticky notes and label everything in your home. Your mirror, your door, your table, your lamp, your bed, your window, your refrigerator. Write the English word on the sticky note. Every single time you look at that object, you see the English word. You say it out loud or in your mind. Mirror, door, table, refrigerator. This constant repetition builds your vocabulary so naturally and so effortlessly. Your brain is absorbing these words constantly throughout your day. After a week, you don't even consciously think about reading the label. Let me also talk about the power of listening. Whether you're commuting, doing housework, or exercising, listen to English content. You don't need to understand every single word. That's not the goal. The goal is to expose your ears to the rhythm, the sounds, the intonation of English. This trains your ears. Over time, your brain becomes better at recognizing English sounds. Your listening comprehension improves. Your pronunciation naturally improves because you're hearing native speakers speak. Later, try to repeat sentences that you remember, even if it's just one sentence. The more you hear English, the more natural it becomes to you. Speaking in front of a mirror is another technique that I absolutely love. This helps you become more confident with your facial expressions, your pronunciation, your fluency. When you talk in front of a mirror, it feels like you're having a conversation with another person. You can ask yourself questions and then answer them. For example, You look at yourself in the mirror and you say, "How are you feeling today?" Then you answer, "I'm feeling good. I slept well. I feel rested." What are you going to do today? I'm going to go to work. I'll have lunch with a friend. I'll practice English. I'll read a book. How are you feeling about speaking English? I feel nervous sometimes, but I'm getting better. I'm proud of myself. I'm going to keep practicing. This self-conversation creates such a powerful bond between your thoughts and your English speaking ability. You're having a real conversation just with yourself, but your brain doesn't know that. Your brain thinks you're in a conversation, so it's engaging all the neural pathways associated with real conversation. This is incredible for building confidence and fluency. Let me walk you through a mirror speaking practice right now. Imagine you're looking at yourself in the mirror. You're going to have a conversation with yourself. Ready? Look at yourself. You say, "Hi there. How are you doing today?" Pause. Now answer, "I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How do you feel about your English learning?" "I feel pretty good about it. I've been practicing every day. I'm seeing progress." "That's wonderful. What's one thing you learned this week?" "I learned about different ways to practice English in my daily life. That's a lot of helpful information. Are you going to use what you learned?" "Yes, absolutely. I'm going to start practicing today." "I'm excited about it. That's great. Don't be afraid to make mistakes." "I know. Mistakes help me learn." "Good attitude. Keep going." "I will. Thank you for believing in me." This kind of practice works because you're being your own teacher and your own cheerleader. You're encouraging yourself. You're talking to yourself in a natural way. You're building real conversational skills. Reading aloud is another wonderful exercise. Find a short paragraph, maybe from a book, a newspaper article, or something online. Read it out loud slowly. Focus on your pronunciation. Don't worry about making mistakes. The goal is repetition and getting your mouth used to forming English sounds. After you read it out loud a few times, try to summarize what you read in your own words. This helps your comprehension. It also helps your speaking because you're reformulating the information in your own language. Let me give you an example of how to do this. Here's a short paragraph. Listen carefully as I read it. Learning a new language is one of the most exciting journeys you can take. It opens doors to new cultures, new friendships, and new opportunities. Every word you learn is a key. Every sentence you speak is a step forward. The most important thing is to be patient with yourself and to celebrate every little victory along the way. Now, after reading that, you could say something like, "The paragraph talked about learning a new language. It said that learning a language is exciting. It gives you access to new cultures and new people. It helps you make new friends. It creates new opportunities. Every word you learn is important. Every sentence you speak represents progress. The key is to be patient. You need to celebrate your progress." The message was positive and encouraging. This practice trains your brain to process English information and convert it into your own understanding and expression. It strengthens both your comprehension and your speaking skills simultaneously. Let me talk about vocabulary building in a strategic way. Choose one topic each day and learn 5 to 10 new words related to that topic. Then use those words in sentences throughout your day. For example, let's say today's topic is the office. Here are some words you might learn: desk, computer, keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, document, meeting, colleague, deadline. Now create sentences using these words. I work at a desk in the office. My computer is on. I use a keyboard and mouse to work. My monitor is large and clear. I print documents at the printer. I have a meeting with my colleagues. We discuss the project deadline. One of my colleagues is very kind. My deadline is next Friday. I need to finish my project on time. By the end of the day, you try to use these words again in different contexts. Maybe you tell someone, "My colleague helped me today," or "I have a meeting soon," or "The printer wasn't working." The more you use new vocabulary, the quicker it becomes part of your active vocabulary, the vocabulary you actually use regularly. Let me introduce the concept of shadowing, which is a technique used by many advanced learners. Shadowing means you listen to someone speaking English and you repeat what they say immediately after them, almost like an echo. This helps you match the speed, the rhythm, and the pronunciation of native speakers. You can find short English clips on YouTube, from podcasts, from audiobooks. Listen to one sentence. Stop. Repeat that sentence exactly as you heard it. Try to copy the speed, the stress, the intonation. Then move to the next sentence. Do this for 10 to 15 minutes daily, and you'll see a huge improvement in your speaking fluency. Let me demonstrate how shadowing works. I'm going to say some sentences, and you can pause after each one and repeat exactly what I said. Ready? Sentence 1. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Pause and repeat. Sentence 2. I take a shower and get ready for work. Pause and repeat. Sentence 3. I eat a quick breakfast before leaving home. Pause and repeat. Sentence 4. I take the bus to the office. Pause and repeat. Sentence 5. My commute takes about 30 minutes. Pause and repeat. Sentence 6. I arrive at the office at 9 o'clock. Pause and repeat. Sentence 7. I check my emails first. Pause and repeat. Sentence 8. I have a lot of emails to answer. Pause and repeat. Doing this kind of practice daily with different topics will transform your speaking fluency. You'll start sounding more confident, you'll feel more comfortable with English, your pronunciation will improve naturally. Another excellent practice is asking yourself questions throughout the day and then answering them in English. When you wake up, ask yourself, what do I need to accomplish today? Critical. Then answer, I need to finish my project. I need to attend my meetings. I need to buy groceries. I need to practice English. I need to exercise. At lunch, you might ask, what have I done so far today? And answer, I've attended 2 meetings, I've answered many emails, I've had lunch with a friend, I've worked on my project, I've practiced English. At night, what did I do today? And answer, I completed my project. I had 4 meetings. I talked to my friend. I watched an English movie. I wrote in my journal. I practiced English. I feel happy about my day. These self-directed questions and answers create powerful conversations. They turn your thoughts into English. They prepare you for real conversations. They help you organize your thoughts. They build your confidence. Let me give you a practice exercise with this technique. I'm going to ask you questions, and I want you to imagine answering them. What's your favorite hobby? My favorite hobby is reading. I love to read books. I also enjoy watching movies. What do you like to eat? I like healthy food. I enjoy vegetables and fruits. I also like pasta and rice. What's your dream? My dream is to become fluent in English. I want to travel to English-speaking countries. I want to make international friends. How do you feel about learning English? I feel excited. I feel challenged sometimes, but I'm determined. I know I can do it. What motivates you? My family motivates me. My friends encourage me. My own goals inspire me. This kind of personal practice keeps you connected with your own life while learning English. You're not just learning a language in isolation, you're learning it in the context of your own interests, your own dreams, your own motivations. Now, let me talk about using English expressions and idioms in daily situations. These are the little phrases that make you sound natural and fluent. Things like, "That's amazing," or "I totally agree," or "Let me think about it," or "Just kidding," or "No problem at all." When you use these natural expressions, you sound more like a native speaker. You sound more confident. Let me teach you some common expressions and how to use them. When someone helps you, say, "Thanks a lot. I really appreciate your help. I couldn't have done it without you." When you're surprised, "Oh, really? That's incredible. I had no idea." When you're busy, "I'm really swamped right now. I'm up to my neck in work. Give me a few days." When you're tired, "I'm exhausted. I'm completely worn out. I need to rest." When you agree, "Exactly. You're absolutely right. I completely agree with you." When you disagree gently, "I see your point, but I might think about it differently." When you want to say something isn't a big deal, "It's okay. No worries. These things happen." When you want to encourage someone, "You can do it. I believe in you. You've got this." Let me do an expressions practice with you. Repeat these or think about them. "I can't thank you enough." "That's so kind of you." "I really appreciate it." "That sounds great." "Count me in." "I'd love to." "No problem at all." "Happy to help." "That's not a problem." "I'm sorry to hear that." "That's too bad." "I'm so sorry." "Congratulations. That's wonderful news. I'm so happy for you. Take care of yourself. Talk to you later. See you soon." Using these expressions naturally is part of fluent English. These are the words and phrases that make conversations flow naturally. The more you practice them, the more automatically they come to you. Let me talk about involving your actual social environment. If you have friends or family members who are open to it, speak a few sentences in English with them every day. Even if it's just greetings or very basic questions, it counts. You could say, "Good morning. Did you sleep well? Did you eat breakfast? What are your plans for today? How was your day? That's great. I'm happy for you." Or even if they don't speak English, you can just practice anyway. Talk about what's happening around you. Look at the weather. "I see it's raining today. The sky is gray. The wind is strong. I might stay inside and read a book." Or, "It's a beautiful sunny day. I can see clouds in the sky. The temperature is warm. I'd like to go for a walk." The more you bring English into your environment and into your interactions, the more it becomes a natural part of your life. It stops feeling like something you're studying and starts feeling like something you're living. Let me talk about incorporating English into your hobbies, because this is where learning becomes truly enjoyable. If you like cooking, here's what you can do. Find recipes online in English. Critical. Now, let's return the steps and narrate as we cook. Say things like, "First, peel the onion." "I'm preheating the oven to 350 degrees. I'm gathering all my ingredients. I need flour, sugar, butter, and eggs. I'm mixing the dry ingredients in a bowl. I'm beating the eggs in another bowl. I'm combining everything together. The batter looks smooth. I'm pouring it into the baking pan. I'm putting it in the oven. I'm setting the timer for 25 minutes. The kitchen smells wonderful." If you enjoy music, learn the lyrics of English songs. Listen carefully. Try to understand what the song is about. Sing along. Don't worry about having a perfect voice. Just enjoy the process. Try to understand the meaning. What emotions is the song expressing? What story is it telling? After listening to a song, try to talk about it. I just listened to a song about love. It was beautiful. The singer had an incredible voice. The melody was catchy. The lyrics were meaningful. It made me feel emotional. Music is a wonderful way to learn English while enjoying yourself. If you like movies or TV shows, watch them with English subtitles. Choose something that interests you. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just keep watching. Your brain is absorbing the sounds and the words. Pause and repeat short dialogues. Try to act out the scene. Imagine yourself as the character. What would you say? How would you express yourself? After watching, talk about what you saw. I watched a movie about adventure. The main character was brave. The plot was exciting. There were funny moments and serious moments. I learned some new vocabulary. I enjoyed the movie so much. Engaging with your hobbies through English makes learning so much more enjoyable. You're not forcing yourself. You're naturally interested in what you're learning about, so the learning happens almost without you realizing it. Let me talk about one more habit that I think is incredibly powerful: reviewing your day in English before you go to bed. Find a quiet moment at night. Lie down. Think about your entire day. Try to summarize it in English in your mind. What did I do today? What did I say? What did I learn? What made me happy? What challenged me? Try to think through your entire day in English. This helps your brain process the language. It strengthens your memory. It creates associations between your experiences and English. Just 5 minutes of this practice every night can make a significant difference. Let me guide you through a bedtime review. Imagine you're lying in bed. It's night. You're thinking about your day. I woke up early today. I felt good. I practiced English in the morning. I narrated my breakfast. I went to work. I had 3 meetings. In the first meeting, I listened carefully. I understood most of it. In the second meeting, I spoke a little English. I felt nervous, but I did my best. In the third meeting, I took notes. The meetings were productive. I ate lunch with my colleague. We talked about work and life. I went back to work. I focused on my project. I finished a big task. I felt proud. After work, I went to the gym. I exercised for an hour. I felt tired but good. I came home. I made dinner. It was delicious. I watched an English movie in the evening. I understood most of it. I laughed at the jokes. I felt entertained. Before bed, I thought about my day in English. I practiced so much today. I'm happy with my progress. I feel confident. Tomorrow, I will continue practicing. I will keep improving. This kind of reflection is so valuable. You're consolidating your learning. You're recognizing your progress. You're building momentum for tomorrow. Now, let me talk about something that I think is really important, and that's managing your mindset. Many people feel shy or afraid to speak English because they think other people will judge them if they make mistakes. Here's what I want to tell you. Making mistakes is literally a required part of learning. It's not something to avoid, it's something to embrace. Even native speakers make mistakes. Native speakers misspeak. Native speakers say things awkwardly sometimes. The difference is, native speakers don't care. They correct themselves and move on. You should do the same thing. Don't let fear stop you from practicing. Fear is just false expectations appearing real. You're imagining something that hasn't happened. You're imagining judgment that isn't actually there. Don't let fear stop you from practicing. Fear is just false expectations appearing real. You're imagining something that hasn't happened. You're imagining judgment that isn't actually there. They don't judge. So speak without worrying about being perfect. Be clear. Be confident. Be genuine. That's way more important than being perfect. If you do make a mistake, correct yourself gently and move on. You might say, "Oh, sorry, I mean to say she goes to the store, not she go to store," and then just continue. Self-correction actually shows that you're thinking about the language. It shows that you're learning. It builds confidence because you're demonstrating that you can recognize and fix your own mistakes. Let me do a confidence-building practice with you right now. I want you to repeat these affirmations after me, or say them in your own mind. I am learning English every single day. I will not give up on my dreams. I believe in myself. I trust my ability. I make mistakes, but I learn from them. I will speak with confidence and courage. I will not be afraid of judgment. I am improving every single day. English is becoming a natural part of my life. I enjoy the learning process. I enjoy speaking English. I am doing my very best. I am proud of myself. These positive statements can lift your spirit. They remind you of your potential. They help you develop a growth mindset. They make you more resilient when you face challenges. Let me introduce one more technique called changing your routine to keep learning fresh. If you've been practicing the same way for a few weeks and it's starting to feel boring, change it up. Try a different topic. Listen to a different podcast. Read a different type of content. Watch a different kind of movie. Do role play in a different situation. Take a walk in a different neighborhood and describe what you see. Variety keeps learning engaging. It keeps you interested. It prevents burnout. You can also use your dreams and goals as motivation. Talk about your dreams in English. One day, I want to visit New York. I want to see the Statue of Liberty. I want to visit famous museums. I want to walk in Central Park. I want to eat in famous restaurants. I want to speak to people in English and make new friends. I want to experience American culture. Or, my dream is to get a better job that requires English. My dream is to travel to different countries. My dream is to make friends from all around the world. My dream is to become fluent in English. My dream is to read books in English without translations. My dream is to watch movies without subtitles and understand everything. Talking about your dreams in English gives you a strong emotional connection to your learning. It reminds you why you're doing this. It motivates you to keep going when things get difficult. Let me do one final practice paragraph that brings everything together. Imagine it's a Sunday and you're relaxing at home. I'm going to describe your day and I want you to imagine yourself living it and speaking it. It's Sunday. I woke up late today. There's no rush. I feel relaxed. I made a large cup of coffee. I sat on the sofa with my coffee. I watched a funny English video on my phone. I understood the jokes. I laughed out loud. The video was entertaining and educational. I learned some new vocabulary. I repeated the funny lines to myself. They made me laugh again. I felt happy. In the afternoon, I cleaned my room. I picked up clothes. I organized my desk. I dusted the furniture. I opened the windows. Fresh air came in. The room smelled nice. I listened to an English podcast while cleaning. The podcast was about personal development. The speaker shared useful tips. I listened carefully. I understood most of it. The podcast inspired me. I felt motivated to improve myself. I'm making good progress. In the evening, I sat down and read a short English story online. The story was interesting. It was about a woman who traveled the world. She had many adventures. She met interesting people. She learned about different cultures. The story was inspiring. I read slowly. I understood the plot. I looked up 2 words I didn't know. After reading, I thought about the story. I imagined myself traveling like the character. It was exciting to dream. I realized I'm capable of learning English. If I keep practicing, I can achieve any goal I set. I made dinner. I cooked pasta with vegetables. It was simple and delicious. While eating, I thought about my week. I practiced English every day. I made progress. I spoke more confidently. I understood more. I made fewer mistakes. I feel proud of myself. Tomorrow is Monday. I'll continue practicing. I'm excited about my progress. I'm excited about my future. Learning English feels possible. Learning English feels enjoyable. And that, my friends, is the beauty of practicing English in your daily life. It doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't need to happen in a classroom. It doesn't require expensive equipment or fancy tools. It just needs your attention. It needs your voice. It needs a little bit of time every single day. You're creating an English-speaking environment for yourself. You're building this world where English is a natural and normal part of how you function. Step by step, day by day, you're becoming more and more fluent. Here's something that I want to emphasize as we get close to the end. Consistency is infinitely more powerful than perfection. If you show up every single day with a small effort, you will absolutely become fluent. It might not happen overnight. It might take weeks or months, but it will happen. Your brain is constantly learning. Your brain is constantly making connections. Every sentence you speak is building your skills. Every word you use is becoming more automatic. Every conversation you have with yourself is preparing you for real conversations. I know it might feel slow sometimes. You might not see dramatic changes from day to day, but if you look back after a month, you'll be shocked at how much you've improved. If you look back after 3 months, you'll realize you've made incredible progress. That's the power of consistency. That's the power of daily practice. Small steps repeated consistently lead to enormous transformations. I want you to think about something. A year from now, you can either be exactly where you are right now, or you can be fluent in English. The difference is whether you decide to practice today and tomorrow and the day after that. The choice is yours. But I'm telling you, based on everything I know about language learning, if you commit to this, if you show up every day, you will see results. You will become fluent. One more thing I want to say. Be kind to yourself during this journey. Some days will be harder than others. Some days you'll feel more motivated than other days. That's completely normal. That's part of being human. On the days when you don't feel motivated, just do a little bit anyway. Do 5 minutes instead of 30 minutes. Do something small instead of something big. The goal is to maintain consistency, and sometimes consistency means doing less but keeping the streak going. If you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Don't use it as an excuse to stop. Just start again the next day. You're building a habit, and habits are built through repetition, not through perfection. Every day you practice is a deposit into your English bank account. Over time, that account grows into something substantial. I also want to encourage you to celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Did you have a conversation in English today? Celebrate that. Did you understand a movie without subtitles? Celebrate that. Did you write 5 sentences in your journal? Celebrate that. Did you learn 5 new words? Celebrate that. These small victories add up to massive transformation. And here's something interesting to think about. You're not just learning a language, you're expanding your mind. You're opening yourself to new cultures. You're gaining access to billions of people around the world. You're gaining access to incredible content, knowledge, entertainment, and opportunity. English is the key that opens all of these doors. That's powerful. That's motivating. That's worth the effort. As we wrap up this episode, I want to remind you of everything we've covered. We talked about thinking in English when you wake up. We talked about narrating your breakfast. We talked about describing your surroundings during quiet moments. We talked about keeping a journal. We talked about speaking in front of the mirror. We talked about shadowing. We talked about role play. We talked about labeling objects in your home. We talked about listening to English content. We talked about reading aloud. We talked about vocabulary building. We talked about asking yourself questions. We talked about using natural expressions. We talked about engaging with hobbies through English. We talked about bedtime review. We talked about mindset and confidence. All of these techniques work. They've been proven to work by countless learners. You don't need to do all of them at once. Start with one or two. Once you feel comfortable, add another. Build your practice gradually. Make it sustainable. Make it something you can do for the rest of your life. Your English journey is unique. Your pace is your pace. Your timeline is your timeline. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't worry about how fast or slow you're progressing. Focus on the fact that you're progressing. Focus on your effort. Focus on your consistency. That's what matters. I truly believe that if you implement these ideas, if you show up every day, if you practice with patience and kindness toward yourself, you will become fluent in English. You have everything you need. You have your daily life. You have your voice. You have your determination. That's enough. That's more than enough. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you for listening to this entire episode. Thank you for being committed to your growth. Thank you for being brave enough to learn a new language. It's not easy, but it's so worth it. I'm incredibly proud of you, even though we've never met. I'm proud that you're taking steps toward your goals. I'm proud that you're not giving up. I'm proud that you're here. So before you leave, I have one more thing I want to ask you. Did you find this episode helpful? Did you learn something new? Did you get inspired? If you did, I would absolutely love it if you could share this episode with someone who needs it. Maybe you have a friend who's struggling with English. Maybe you have a family member who wants to learn. Share this episode with them. Let's build a community of people who support each other's learning journey. Together, we can all become fluent. And while you're at it, make sure you've subscribed to this podcast. When you subscribe, you never miss a single episode. New episodes come out regularly, and each one is packed with practical tips and encouragement to help you on your English learning journey. Subscribing takes like 2 seconds, and it helps me so much. It tells me that you want more content. It motivates me to keep creating. Also, don't forget to check out our podcast playlist right here in the channel. We have so many episodes loaded up. We have episodes about conversation skills, about grammar, about pronunciation, about vocabulary, about confidence, about mindset, about everything you could possibly need to become fluent in English. Each episode builds on the previous one, so if you haven't listened to the earlier episodes, I strongly encourage you to go back and listen. They're all amazing. If you have any questions about what we discussed today, if you want to suggest a topic for a future episode, if you want to share your progress with me, please feel free to leave a comment below. I read every single comment. I respond to as many as I can. I love hearing from you. I love hearing about your journey. I love celebrating your progress. So please, don't be shy. Leave a comment. Say hello. Tell me about your English learning journey. I'm sending you so much love and encouragement right now. You've got this. You absolutely can become fluent in English. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. So commit to this. Show up every day. Practice. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Celebrate your progress. And before you know it, you'll be having conversations in English with confidence and ease. Thank you again for listening. Thank you for being part of our community. I'll see you in the next episode. Keep practicing, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself. Goodbye, my amazing friends.